let you navigate this.
All right, we are in. Let's go. Welcome to building the other space station, selecting the right other side, other deed.
This is history, man. This is a historic moment right here, Sean. First time we're on camera.
Oh, what up, E-Flurp? Yo. Yeah, man. I'm super excited to just be hanging out with you.
Big,
I love
huge,
this thing,
massive. It's gonna be
huge.
this is gonna be
This is
epic.
gonna be huge.
Huge. Listen, guys.
Yeah, man. Our AR filters with the snap camera are not working, but yeah, this is us.
Yeah, guys. We're not sadly actually physically apes, just in our souls. But today we're really excited to do something very special for OTHERspace FM. And not only are we excited to be on camera because we're excited to be on this journey together, but we're doing a little shopping today. And we wanted to stream it to kind of share our experience with the community and also let people know, how we arrived at the deed decision that we're going to pull the trigger on if and when we find it, hopefully today during our searching session.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, like, just for context, you and I have been really going back and forth on, finding ways to find the right other deed. We conceptualized what do we want to build for, not as like we're building our own things individually, right? Like you
Right.
have your other deeds, I have a few other deeds. We both have some really grand ideas and ways we can like collaborate, and we're still going to do that. But we wanted to also partake in just like how can, we went on this journey together to really just say, hey, let's commit ourselves to build up OTHERspace FM, and do
Right.
a space every single week since the first trip in July. And so now it's kind of evolving into like, shit, what are we going to do for the other side as it relates to OTHERspace FM?
Right.
And we're talking about we should build out an OTHERspace station.
Absolutely.
And do it for the community. Like this one's going to be dedicated for OTHERspace, which has always been about like all of us coming together, sharing our journey, and really putting the spotlight on all the creators and builders that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the second trip coming soon this Saturday on the 25th, wanted to, bro, I know, like you said, we've been doing it since the first demo, so it's huge to us. And we wanted to get this deed before Saturday so that we could get that first trip badge on it if it didn't have it already. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, good point.
There's a lot of reasons to why we're actively doing this in the time frame that we are. And so, like Sean said,
and the floor's been dropping a little bit, which is great for us because we're shopping.
Great for us. So we thought we'd do a little live shopping, and let's talk it out. Let's talk about what deeds we're looking for. We've decided on a 2 ETH cap for this deed, and we're going to start to kind of reverse our build from there.
Yo, E-Plurp was said, hold on, let's kick it reverse. Is JTA Baron?
Yeah. Jason the Ape is Baron. That's me, guys. I should have changed that up.
You doxed your ape.
Oh no.
No.
It's part of the multiverse experience.
Yeah, it's part of us fucking around.
Yeah, dude.
Just having fun.
Hold on, dude. Let's see.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to switch it up. Usually when we're our apes, because both of us, oh shit, it's blurred out.
It's too blurry. Oh no.
Yeah. Usually when we're our apes, I'll probably change mine to my ape's name. So instead of like I'm Nana, my name is Sean Nana, but a lot of friends, and especially back in sports, when you have your last name on your back or on your helmet, people aren't going to say your full last name, but A lot of people call my father, my brother, and myself Nana. But my ape's name is Millie Meditate. The full name is Millhouse,
Hmm. Hmm.
but short of, also known as Millie. But Millie Meditate and Jason the Ape.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
our ape names.
Those are our ape names, and those are the apes you're going to see around our other space deed. Walking around when we get our full 3D rigs too. So it's really important for us to
Yeah.
establish our characters of our apes with our IP, so that when we're on our other space deed, people will go, "Oh, hey, that's Millie," or "Hey, that's Jason the ape," and they might have some sort of purpose or interaction, with us after that. So
Yeah,
part of
and to
the
be able to,
fun of it.
like, yeah, have fun with something that may not even be ourselves. You know what I
Exactly,
mean? Like, we
exactly.
get to have fun with Millie, we get to have fun with Jason the Ape.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
So let's jump
uh,
into it, man. Let's
dude,
let's
yeah, I'm
yeah.
really excited because, like, we have a upcoming space this Thursday. It's gonna be sponsored by Vora, and Vora
Ooh.
is, like, a big part of one of the reasons why we're able to shop for this other deed. So excited to fill you in. Please make sure to go to OtherSpace FM on Twitter and set your reminders for this upcoming space because it's going to be epic.
Yeah, and
Uh,
and we'll definitely talk about that excitement on Thursday and let you, in on another part of our journey and our chapter together. But I think what we talk about often, Sean and I, is building out in public, right? And with Other Space being a community-driven space, this was really important to show our experience, right? So this is actually going to be a series that we're working on. As we build out the Other Space Station, we're going to show from looking for the deed all the way, hopefully, to throwing events and having experiences on the deed and everything in between. So very excited to start this video journey with you, Sean, as we kind of start right now by picking our deed and building our foundation on it together.
yeah, yeah. So Barrett and I, we meet every single week, and we meet on this platform where we're doing video with each other. And sometimes we're just like right now, we're like, you know what? Now that we're building and we're looking to find the right other deed, why don't we just hit broadcast and just broadcast this research out?
Yeah,
Hang out with the community. If you have input, you have questions, you can help us even articulate like what we're trying to do because we don't fully know yet as we just want to start doing it.
right.
And as we do it, I think we're going to learn a lot. And I think the true value comes through the art of doing it. And speaking
Absolutely.
of, E Pluribus mentioned, so the point of your deed to create a metaverse space for other space for doing streams and potties, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. That is 100% the point of it, plus much more, right? Like we want to create
Yeah.
just experiences on it where we can elevate Other Space FM from just what it is currently, which is a Twitter Spaces, into a
Mhm.
metaverse centric show on any level we can. So imagine our spaces.
Experiences. Yeah.
Exactly. Imagine our spaces, but with more opportunity to experience it other than just auditorially, like just through listening, right? So to be able to be in a chat where maybe you're with Sean and Jason and we're experiencing something together through this deed, that's kind of the beginning thought process of why we'd even want to, consider something like this. Because it's not going to be owned by myself or Sean. This is something that we're going in together and going to be building out Other Space FM on, and hopefully creating
Yeah.
a place where everyone wants to come and hang out and be.
Yeah. In fact, Baron, would you mind if I just give a little peek behind the curtain on the deck that we're maybe show off a couple slides. I know our deck isn't fully
Yeah.
finished,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If
but
you want to show like some conceptuals for the space station.
yeah, for everyone who's been able to tune in, I definitely want to be able to share a little bit of something that we've been working on. So give me a second. Let me see how I'd be able to do this. Boom, boom. Okay, and then now I'll be able to share, right? Okay. Excuse me one sec. Let's present this screen. In the meantime, let's jam to some music.
Well, just real quick, something interesting for the people who are hanging out is like you said, as we're exploring the deeds and stuff, we actually could be very swayed by whoever's participating in the chat for what we decide to purchase.
1000%.
So for the people who are part of this, if you want to help us pick a D today, throw it in the chat what you're curious about or what you like or whatever, and maybe we'll look at it because maybe we didn't consider it before.
Yeah.
When it comes to building out experiences, same thing.
Yeah, 1000%. We totally encourage you to fill in the comments. We're streaming both. What up, all 8 GM? We're filling in like I'm sorry, we're streaming on both Twitch as well as YouTube. Right now our budget is 2 ETH. But we started filling out the deck, a deck, and I got that up on the screen, but I'm not going to go through everything because it's really a work in progress. But I will share that we want to build OTHERspace Station. We've both Jason the Ape and I have been using like Midjourney AI as a tool as well to help conceptualize some ideas and thoughts. And even though this is like a cool visual, it's just something to get us going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like we wanted to build out like some sort of like radio tower type thing that's like broadcasting, a signal.
Right.
And we want it integrated into the environment using the celestial technology and the incredible power source. And this was before like a lot of like the heavy metal stuff was coming out. But some things we were talking about was having like live light signals. So if there's content being created in there, whether it's people in the speculation room, or there is a live podcast going, or live OtherSpace FM,
Right. Right.
we'd want certain signals to kind of showcase that, as if you were maybe somewhere else on a deed or on a deed nearby, you would know based off of this radio tower what content would be playing as light is emitted from the station to signal that there's a certain live broadcast going on.
Well, no, it also encourages the idea of different, like right off the bat, this building is intended for communal use, where it's not just us two doing, 17 different things in there. It's an opportunity for people to come and build potentially experiences alongside us, where maybe they become a part of a weekly show that's in that building, or maybe they have a club that's meeting in that building at a certain time, or whatever you could imagine. Maybe we're playing a game, but the idea visually is quite beautiful, especially for, like you said, Sean, the perspective of distance, right? As you're approaching, you go, oh, blue light. Cool. That means Sean and Jason are on for OtherSpace FM. Maybe the pink light means it's time for this game. So we better get over there if we want to play or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And we'll have like maybe even a boardroom, a room dedicated to discuss ideas, seek advice, some advisory, and get feedback from like founders, builders, and creators within the OtherSpace community.
Right.
So
Right.
we're thinking of like, let's have some room that is really dedicated toward creating and building. And how cool would it be if people were to have access to something like this where they can bring their ideas in and have, at the very least, myself and Jason the Ape. I'm just going to look at whatever you have on the screen. That's what I'll call you. All right,
That's
Jason.
perfect. That's perfect.
So myself and Jason, or AKA Baron Von Hustle,
Mm-mm.
as well as other people that are in the community that I think, would be really, really great to be able to be at that same table. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely.
And be able to hash out ideas, have it picked apart, have it, get feedback from, and have some sort of space dedicated toward that, as well as a degen room. But in this case, a room dedicated to discuss all right, so it's the same. So the same I use the same template for the description, but a DGen room I think is going to be more for just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's kind of surreal, right? When you think about it on this level, is that everything in the metaverse ideally should have some visual representation of reality. But the significant difference is time and distance become irrelevant because
Yeah.
now we can be anywhere in the world and we can go and be in this cool DGen room. And, when we meet up here, it's like, hey, this is what we're going to plan on doing. And there's a vibe created. And I think that's something special and unique is as we're building out this, we put a lot of thought into how do we want to use this deed? What would we like to have on the deed? What purposes would we like, right? So
Yeah.
before shopping, and this is really important for anyone who's looking for a deed, reverse engineer your purpose, right? Like that's what we've spent a lot of time doing is now we know what we're looking for. So it's going to make it a little easier when we go shopping for that deed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, academies or some sorta ignore the placeholder Northern Lights
It's just
photo, but
beautiful. This is
it
beautiful.
is, it's still a vibe. But these other ones we generated, based off of prompting it, we
Yeah.
were thinking of, like, what does a classroom environment look like? We definitely wanna have some sort of educational component to what we're gonna be building out here, and how cool would it be to come together, really be immersed in the environment, and have a place where people can come together, discuss ideas, and maybe invite really, really awesome people to come share and maybe share something,
Yeah.
whether it's showcasing or sharing their experience in building something super dope. And I think, these are the types of ideas. And at the very least, we wanted to get it out of our heads and onto a
Right.
deck to
Right.
where we can get it visual as well as some words on there. And that's part of really bringing the idea to life.
Right. Because part of it also is being able to express these ideas to people who are going to have to help us build it along the way, right?
That's true.
We have to have something to present because even for you and I to get to this point took a lot of work. So then, when you actually get to a point where you get an assistant, a little bit of assistance with building it out, this is going to help us visually explain what we're looking for a lot better.
Yeah.
I
Look at
mean,
this
this would be
funky
rad.
design.
That would be rad. Okay, so let's jump out of the deck. Let's get to it, man,
Yeah.
because I think we get the idea now is that we put a lot of time and thought into why we want to deed, what we wanna do with it. Uh, we also have talked about how we wanna like, what sort of deeds speak to us based on that, right? So, we've kind of ideated that we want something colorful, something warm and
Yeah.
inviting, right? We don't want a deed that has a scary not negative connotation, but
It might not be the right vibe for what you all may have heard, the direction
exactly.
that we're going and things like that. So actually want to take a quick second because we got some people in the chat. GM all C, GM all ape, GM Mario, GM Mr. Hype. Dude, it's good to see some OGs coming through. GM E Plurp. Um, so if you have any thoughts, feedback, ideas, anything that that we shared so far, we'd love to kind of hear it. Are we on the right path? Oh, Mario Frosties, what up? Um, Dude, Frosties, absolutely legend and goat. So
I
yeah, as we kind of hunt and search, now that you've heard a little bit of the vision, if you have some ideas or you think we're going the wrong way or you have a suggestion, throw it in the chat. Let us know. We definitely want you. The whole purpose of going live is to bring you along in the journey with us.
right, right.
So
And so we definitely decided today would be the day we're gonna buy a deed. And we're excited for that. We looked a little bit before, so we have a little bit of ideas, but we're definitely open to whatever input you guys have. All Tape just put up a suggestion. I would go for something colorful and family friendly, botanical, Christo, biolumin, mystic. And that's absolutely where our minds are at. We were looking at
I like that.
you know what? Let's bring it up, Sean. Will you
All
put up
right,
your screen with the
I'm
deeds
happy
and
to.
yeah. We were also absolutely right here. Also try to hit a tier 4 and a tier 5. So
Oh,
you
I
guys
love
are
this.
I know we're all right here in the same page. I feel like I'm yelling, so let me know if I am. Um,
We are
it's
right
I know,
here on the
it's just
same
so exciting.
page.
The first thing that's benefiting us is we have a 2 ether budget with a declining floor. So that's gonna give us a little bit more leeway for a potential 4 or 5 tier, right?
Yeah.
Uh, botanical and myceliums are absolutely amongst
Oh
my
my
favorites
gosh.
as well.
Yeah. You know what? This is kind of where we should just kind of go through a few of these things. Now, shout out Frosties. As you can see, over here on Otherside Wiki, we're using both tools right now. We're over on otherside-wiki.xyz, as well as we're going through OpenSea, just kind of going through it. But you know what? Let's start off with Other Side Wiki because I think there's some really just not everyone has used it, and the more we use it, I think the more familiarized we get with it, and I love the filters. And so I wanted to get some input, as you already have. What are some of the best filters when you have a 2 ether budget? So the first thing would be that budget. So we got 2 ETH max, and that's a price range. And then um yeah, we were thinking environment tiers 4 and 5, and that's what we have over here on the left hand side. We have 4 and 5 ticked in. So we were thinking environment tiers are really important. Um, we do like we do like the aesthetics of a 4 and a 5. We just think it's just that much more like magical
Right.
right off the jump. And I think it would be great to get a 4 or 5 tier, like
Yeah,
right off
and
the
and
bat
and
for environment.
especially since we saw that graphic that kind of proposed the idea that the 4 and 5 tiers actually are bigger, right? There's more to them. So then that becomes the question of, we cycle back to this again, Sean, is like, what is our intent for this deed? For us, it's not necessarily to harvest resources. It could be
Mhm.
valuable for us, but really our intent is to have a physical a metaverse physical space in which we can create the other space station and start to host events and games and activities, right? So that becomes that question of, is the tier 4 and 5 more valuable than maybe a sediment tier, and having those sorts of conversations.
Yeah, because that is what I was talking to Jason about was just like, you know, the first thing that comes to mind for me is really the environment tiers 4 and 5, and then the sediment tier or the sediment. And I usually when I'm shopping for a deed, I'm uh, and no offense to some of these deeds, but I try and not look for something that like if I can find something that's not infinite expanse, or even the what's it called? What is this one called again? The Cosmic Dream. I'm looking at Rainbow Atmos, Chemical Goo, and Biogenic Swamp. But I think, and you all tell me if you would agree with this. Would Rainbow Atmos be better than Infinite Expanse and Cosmic Dream? That's
I
what
mean,
I'm curious for
like
about.
Mario put, I think sediment tier is mainly relevant for resources. I agree with you on your
Mhm.
environment thesis. And so that goes back to our point of how are we, because like you said, you would shop for it that way. And
Exactly.
I would too differently. But this is
I-
for a purpose with intent of growing our community's space and giving a place for us to go collectively share and experience. So maybe the tiers of the sediment don't matter to me on this as much as I
Yeah.
would prefer the 4 or 5 tier ranking
I
of the deed.
agree. I think like just having a spot. Now, if we had something like, oh, anyone who has access to this could get resources that this land develops or some sort of utility for that, then yeah, maybe like sediment comes into play, um, and things like that. But we were also thinking like, you know what? If we're gonna manufacture anything on this deed, it's going to cost resources.
Hmm.
And so how are we going to actually manufacture stuff for this deed if it's not coming from our personal resources? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
kind of where it's like, you know what, there might be ways. We still don't know enough about like the codex and so many of the different, like how manufacturing is going to work, etc. Um,
There could
it,
also be bartering experiences. Maybe we host something on for somebody on our plot, and they trade us a resource. You know,
yeah.
there's all kinds of fun community-based ideas like that is an interesting thought.
Ooh. Yo, so I'm gonna just change the filter to 2.5 just for a quick second, just so we can see like what's just out of our range. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Just in case, just in case. Because we got Frosties over here saying
yo, if
2.4
anyone,
mycelium tier 5.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. If anyone from the community wants to donate and throw some ETH into our community wallet because they want us to get a better one, yo, I'm down with that. There's no harm in
Well,
that.
yeah,
But
we would have
but our
we'll have to do
balance is,
something dope in honor of any sort of donations. So you know, we don't know yet, but we'll have to figure something out.
but
But
the reality is our budget is what it is, and so it's I love what you're doing, but immediately I'm like, oh, bro, don't do
well,
that to
dude,
me.
I'm even if I have what a damn show. Even if I like if it's just out of range, like I'm willing to put in a little bit if I can. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? So I think it's good just for awareness on like what's just outside of our budget.
I mean, then if that becomes a thing, it's like then you put an ETH, I put an ETH, 2 ETH, and now we're on a 4 ETH floor, and
Yeah, dude.
that's a
Let's
whole different
fucking go.
world. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. But and not even that. Like, what if we both put an extra point too? You know, so who knows?
okay,
Um,
let's look. Let's window
yeah,
shop.
let's shop a little bit. Okay. I let's start with under two. Okay, okay. Let's start with under two. Okay, so what we have so far is we have all the sediments kind of selected. Because we're not focused on harvesting for this deed, um, I'm I'm not going to put any filters on sediment tiers.
Okay.
Now, for environments, what are some of the environments? Now we showed you the kind of deck and some of our intention for the other space station. Sorry if you came in too late and missed that, but you have an idea of what we're intending to build. We want to create something really dope. And it does feel light and positive. And so there are some deeds that are very dark and mysterious. And I think that's probably not the vibe for the other space station, even though they're sick, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like what did we set? We selected acid could be one of them, biolume for sure. That is really cool. Botanical, that's beautiful. Um crystal, what else? Jungle,
Jungle, luster would be nice.
luster. Glacier is a little too cold and harsh. Um mycelium.
Yeah, I'd be
And
good with
notice as I'm
myself.
clicking some of these, they already aren't matching anything under 2 ETH. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right, right.
That's kind of why I was like, oh, let's see what there's just something outside of it. But
I'm gonna just put that up on our chat, otherspace.eth, for ETH donations if anyone wants to just throw it out there. Just, you
let us
know,
know if you do
let us
though,
know.
so we can do some sort of really cool thing. All right. Veldin. Wait, what's Veldin? Veldin?
I'm not familiar with
Oh yeah,
Veldin.
no, the Veldin's one I got for out. Like I'm
Oh,
personally gonna
that
be
green one,
building
that
on.
green
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it looks sick. I think it looks really good. Yeah, here's Veldin up here on the top left.
Got it, got it.
Um, yeah, those are all really cool. Sulfurics. What do you think about the steps or steeps? Think
I
we
don't
should have it
love
in the
it.
mix?
I don't love it.
Okay, you don't hate it though.
It's not my favorite.
All
but
right.
I wouldn't, if push came to shove and it was the right thing, we could find a way to make it work.
I'm adding sky in here because I think both of us had talked about this. It is really beautiful when you get to the tier 4 and 5. It's very different because it has like all these different levels.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
I think if I were to just throw out my favorites right
I
off
think
the
we're
bat,
good.
the
Yeah.
sky, the biolume, and the botanical, the mycelium, and the crystal are like the ones
Okay.
that I think are just like stunning.
So yeah, out of all of these environments, and let me put like 2.5 for the ETH range. um, we got a lot. Look how beautiful like many of these deeds are just at a
Oh,
glance.
bro.
So we got some good filters going on because we're seeing a lot of nice colors,
Hmm,
good
hmm.
vibes, very natural elements. But what's sticking out here is it's mostly jungle. And this is a 2.5 ETH budget. It's mostly jungle, sky, Veldin. There's a
There's
couple
one crystal,
crystals,
one luster.
few myceliums,
Okay.
yeah, and a couple botanicals. So,
So let's drop it back to 2 and see what that does
all
and
right,
what it
let's
takes off
see.
the table, because I don't think it's as crazy of a difference as I thought it was gonna be at first. Like
This is it.
that crystal looks nice. That that 5-star sky looks nice, but you're right, it puts us in a very small, opportunity window, right?
And the reason why they didn't yo, this
What?
steps are ugh.
They are.
So I like it. I actually think it's clean, but it depends on what you build on it. I love it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll see saying we've seen some jungle concept art. I think so. I think we saw like some acid or no, I'd have to revisit the page
Yeah.
on what the concept art that we saw. Um, we have it sorted by low to high. Um, oh wait, it says low to high, but let me refresh it. Yeah. Now it's on low to high.
I mean, if I'm looking at these right now, okay, boom, we got what, 14 available deeds in our price range for the ones that we picked out. Now
Across
it starts.
Blur and OpenSea.
Right, which is fantastic, because if we were on OpenSea, we would have 3 options right now, or 4 options, something like that. So now we look at what one appeals to us. Which one is the one that looks like Sean? Let's just do this. Boom, Sean, pick. Which one do you want if you're looking at these ones?
Dude, if I'm I'm really liking something like this. This is the one that kind of like goes that I'm gravitating towards, man. I love this sky environment.
Okay.
Let me zoom in.
Yeah, so
First of
this is
all, this is beautiful.
yeah,
Like,
this is a
seeing
5
this
tier.
as a tier 5, and then it has a rainbow atmos
Mhm,
sediment, which is also really pretty because I like the different colors in it
mhm.
too. So, again, all aesthetics. So,
Right,
aesthetics-wise, like, I'm just like, "Wow, that's a beautiful deed."
right,
Resource-wise, you know, it has Nether, which is not a it's a very common resource, and it's only in the northern part. There's no other resources, but like you said, maybe with our purpose, we don't necessarily need it.
right,
Now, considering we're going to need to find ways to get resources when we need to manufacture shit, you know? So
right.
if we're going to start building out other space station, we absolutely will need resources.
Yeah,
However, this isn't our only other deed. We might be able to donate some resources that we have personally, as well as like if there's a way we can incorporate, you know, building with the community and see together, like almost like how guilds kind of work where people can come together and help build out certain things, and then we can help build out other things on
Yeah.
other people's deeds as
Yeah.
well. And so there might be some sort of way we can work around resources. So I'm not too worried. I am glad we have at least one resource on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I do like visually the 5 tier of this sky. It looks so much cooler than the 4 tier. Like if you just look at the visual component, it does look
Let's see if I can go back.
bigger and more like wow factor, right? Um,
Okay, can't go back. That would be cool if I would be able to still go back to that saved filter list since we have Frosties in the chat. Um, that would be sick because I think I gotta redo all those filters again.
yeah, I
Even
think
though
that's
it says it up here.
yeah, maybe
Maybe if I toggle something like
maybe
let's do 2.1.
weird.
Okay. Either way,
Okay.
I think that would be cool. I'm trying to see is there a tier 5 or tier 4?
Yeah, there's a tier 4 right there.
Here's a tier 4.
So, significant difference. An interesting observation right off the bat is the home place looks like it's placed in a different, part. The platform is around the upper part versus rotated out. So
Mm.
that suggests to me that there's some kind of structural difference in the deed. It might be uh, maxed out already, so we can now focus on doing other things like building our other space station versus improving the land quality. Who knows? Um,
Dude, I love this comment. Got a nice little coated den of knowledge. Reminds me of a Shaolin training academy.
mm, mm,
Hell
mm,
yeah,
mm.
dude.
It
No,
does,
I
and that was something we talked about. It has this
yeah.
futuristic, but also like a Japanese kind of cultural, like surreal vibe with the trees and the aesthetics.
Yeah, whatever's happening in this area that has that halo is there's some next level shit happening in that area.
Mhm.
Whatever's happening there. Um and I
But
love
very zen.
the mix of organic elements.
Mhm.
You have like the trees that are pink, and then how Sky has like these different plots of
Right, right.
lands within it almost. I think that could be pretty cool, and it definitely would change the design language of some of the things we were talking about, but still to the core design principles that we were saying is that this radio tower is going to be integrated with the environment. Like we want this to be a part of the environment. So what are some really cool ways we can do that? What else are you noticing from this one, this tier 4?
Well, how the bridges are connected by tree roots, right? So
Oh shit, that's
the
cool.
the trees seem to be an integral part of this plot, and it's
Oh
it's
wow.
kind of what's
I didn't even
holding
notice that.
it looks like it's holding everything together. So that's
Wow.
interesting.
That
Let
is
let's
cool.
let's jump back over to the choices because there was one that I didn't see before as we
Okay.
were searching that really all of a sudden I was like, "Wow, this spoke to me."
Let's
So,
uh let's see what we can do here. Let's
yeah,
see if I can do it real quick. All right.
we'll revisit.
So we got all sediments. We're doing sky, bioloom. All right, I accidentally hit bone, but that's fine.
Okay.
Crystal,
Crystal,
jungle.
jungle, luster.
Let's get some luster. Sky, botanical,
I think
and
that's good.
Belden.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
And
At
then
2 point.
4 and 5 tiers.
Mhm, mhm.
And then price. What do you want to do?
Let's just do 2. Let's keep it there.
2 ETH.
Yeah, okay, Mario has a good feedback, best to open deeds in a new tab, so
Okay. I'll do that.
as that hasn't been fixed yet or added, and they're
Well,
always
that's what I
adding.
was doing earlier, but
Yeah,
yeah, let's do that.
okay,
All right, bone, probably not our vibe
let's take
for
bone out.
this. All right.
Take bone out. So right off the bat, the one that just like, wow, I didn't see that before is that Crystal Land, right? And that's
Oh,
the
right
only
here?
yeah, and that's the only one in our 2 ETH range. So let's pop that up and take a peek.
Okay. So tier 4,
Okay. What?
one resource.
Neither again.
Notice notice the fair value is 3.42.
Right.
So that's kind of nice just
Right.
considering this it's a sediment tier 2 cosmic dream.
Okay.
Um
Now, what I
Crystal's beautiful. I do
That's what I
like
was gonna say,
crystal.
like, visually, it's stunning, right? The 5 obviously is a little bit more wow factor, but I'm starting to imagine what the inside of these little dens would actually look like based on the outside representation, because we saw that with the bone graphic, right? The that little portal that they went into, it has some characteristics of the outside, so I'd imagine whatever that den would be, would have a very visual, crystallized, beautiful place, inside.
Yeah.
I don't know that to be true, but that's kind of where my imagination has gone. I like the aesthetics of this one.
Oh, I
Now,
mean, me too.
now I am leaning more towards that 5 tier one in the sky, just because it's a 4 versus a 5.
Mhm.
I don't know that's the right decision.
Yeah. I like crystal does kind of fit with the light concept that we were talking about,
Right.
how there would be different live light signals,
Right.
based
Exactly.
on when we're live. Um, yeah, what's kind of cool is in every single other deed, there seems to have some sort of door or something. And it looks like this one is right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see, like, okay, there's always some sort of interior for these deeds. We can almost see where they are in each deed, like right here.
I didn't even notice that until just recently, and we've been looking at this so much for so long because there's just so much to it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and part of it is just imagining what are these resources for? What is the process for? So those are the 2 that appeal to me the most. I would love it if you could just pull back for 1 second so we could just look at all of them together
Okay.
and just
I
see
mean,
is
this is it
that's it. So what is interesting is there's 1 chemical goo on the table.
with the Veldin.
Let's look at that.
Okay.
That's interesting because of the chemical goo. So that means that this belonged to a mutant at some point, right? I'd
Hmm.
imagine.
Hmm.
This means that we've heard that mutant goo may have some sort of
Sediment tier 1.
it might have some kind of interesting gamification aspect down the line. The mutant goo.
Yep.
To what degree? Who knows?
Yeah. I like this so much that this was the first other deed that I bought off secondary that I was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna build on this. And so I'm not opposed to having the same deed to build on for Other Space Station.
Hmm.
But I just for reference, yeah, this is one of the deeds that I own.
It's similar.
Not this one, but yeah, it is similar.
Okay. So
So that's just something that, is a consideration, but I'm still super down
so let me
for
let me ask
doing
this
it
to
because
you and
that's why I
ask
love
this.
it.
I'll ask this to you and anyone in the audience who wants to chime in. Is there any value in sniping the only chemical goo on the table for us?
Yeah, and by the way, this is the one that I own.
Yeah, it's
Tier
not okay.
5.
So tier 5, slightly bitter, but that's even interesting. It doesn't look that different than the 4 and 5 on the sky one, right?
Where is it? Where is it? Here it is.
That doesn't look
So,
like the tower is bigger on the tier 5. You have one more level to it. It has a little bit more of a wow factor, I guess it does. There's a few more pillars kind of around.
yeah, there's multiple doors,
Oh, okay. I didn't see
multiple
that.
levels. This has like 2 levels in this
One
house
door.
or
Okay.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then this has multiple doors, boom, boom, with a nice little rooftop. Um, but yeah, it seems like what I love is this kind of like celestial design that we see on the
Yeah.
obelisk and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
super cool.
very Tron, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but this is the tier 4 is nice, dude.
Now that
One
is the top of
resource,
our budget.
yeah. And look at the fair value, 2.6. So it's interesting how
Mhm.
some of the other ones even had a higher fair value,
Right.
2.38 for this tier 4, and then 3.21
Yeah.
for this 5. I'm still leaning toward that,
Me
if I'm
too.
gonna be honest.
Me too.
Let's take a look. We saw the crystal.
The
What about
crystal
these
had a
jungles?
the crystal had a pretty good fair value offer, I think, of 3.4. Not offer, just fair market value of
Oh, yeah.
3.4.
I mean, I think crystals are also look, if you take a look, and this is what I love, like right over here where you go to environment, this environment page is awesome. So shout out to Mario, Frosties. You know, there's all these different environments, but there's 8 environment categories. You got decay,
Mhm.
which notice we didn't pick any of them from decay, right? We didn't pick any of them from harsh.
Mm-mm.
What we did was we're gravitating towards spirit,
Oh, that's fun.
right? And we're gravitating towards mineral
Yeah. Oh, we totally are.
and
And
growth.
growth. Okay.
Um, Psychedelic, I mean, acid's cool. And then chaos, like I wish.
Yeah, right.
Um, but you
T
know, one of the things this is also organized by as we look through some of these. So let's take spirit as an example. Sky, out of the spirit category, there's 2,413 sky deeds.
Got it.
And then there's 3,513
Oh,
Veldin.
man, that's pushing me more and guys, listen,
So we're
we
at
are
the
doing this
this sky would be at the top of like the most like rare out of the spirit category.
right, right. I would say, guys, we're doing this live, so please don't snipe us if we're
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
but it's
that's a good
actually
point.
it's rarer than the crystal, which is interesting, and it is as rare it is rarer than the jungle. So, I mean, to me, Sean, someone said I was about to alt ape. I'm gonna get kicked out of the community like that. No,
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards that one. The sky is beautiful. There's a lot of cool things we could do. Um, guys, listen, do this for us in the chat. Everyone tell us which one you're leaning towards. If we had to pick between Sky, Velvet, and Crystal right now, those are the top 3 we're looking at.
Well,
Which one
look,
do we get?
I like that. And look at the so crystal. That's part of the mineral category.
Mhm, mhm.
And biolume is, you know, right here, whereas there's half as many crystals as biolume.
Right,
And then you got luster, which
right.
is sick. But to be honest, luster, it does it conceptually with the
Mm-mm.
how gold it is. I don't know if it feels like it just based off of the art right now.
Well,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't know shit, but
It
it
might
it
be a little overwhelming for just that color scheme, right?
yeah, yeah.
But it
Like
doesn't
it's hard
fit
for me
our
to vision it. It's hard for me
mhm.
to vision it.
There's certain ones I can go like, "Yeah, that'll fit us," but Sky wasn't on my radar until today, and I think that's what I'm
That's
leaning
crazy.
towards now because I'm like, "Wow, that just maybe it just
See,
fit perfectly."
botanical was like something I really was hoping we can maybe do, you know, or
Yeah,
mycelium. But um I feel like
I'm gonna
for
just
other
keep putting this up
space,
there.
this guy,
Oh,
yo,
it
Jason
changed?
has no
Changed?
shame, dude.
Oh,
He's like, yo, if anyone wants to donate,
you guys wanna throw
you've
down?
been in the YouTube game for quite some
Yeah,
time.
I've been doing
So,
this
and I know a lot of content
2016.
creators. I love it. I know, man. It's so cool.
That's so wild.
Um, all right. So
Okay, so we have a comment down here, which I do appreciate. In case leaving aside rarity and fair value, Crystal is most connected to other Space FM storytelling. So
Mhm.
that's an interesting thing. I've seen how they suggested that relates to the visuals we've put out. I can see it. That was the one that Sean told me he was leaning towards earlier. Not that particular, but the crystal. So I love that.
I do too. I do too.
It's
Do we
tough.
have
It's
any
a tough one.
crystals?
There's
We
just
got
that
we
one.
let me just make sure. See, and this is where
All right.
let me do
Let's go
this.
to 2.5. Yeah,
Let me just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do
Sean
it.
Sean and I are gonna start the donation off by donating 0.25 each.
All right. We might. We might. Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't make a big difference. All of a sudden,
Yeah. Oh,
Bioloom is
here.
there. Ooh,
Oh, here we go.
mycelium's on the table.
Yeah, we got some
Ooh, that mycelium though.
botanical.
Oof.
What, this one right here?
In the middle. Yeah. Ooh, go down one more. 2.4. Look at
2.4.
that.
Yeah, for 0.05 more you get
Oh,
a tier 5.
that's nice.
All right. All right.
This is exactly how
Oh,
it
look at
begins.
this, dude. On fucking sediment, but on chemical goo sediment, but it's a tier
Mhm.
4
Okay.
environment.
Okay.
Um so hey, what are you thinking in terms
I mean,
of these right here? The bioloom.
I love the Bioloom, but if we're gonna go back to that previous screen real quick with the 2.5 cap, now my mind goes to mycelium. Like when I look at it, I'm like that 2.5, that one right there that you're clicking on.
Look, let me take away bioloom then,
Okay.
because I like kind of like we'll start off kind of like broad and then we'll narrow it down. Like
Okay,
I
I love
think
that.
luster we can cut
Luster
off
will kill.
luster.
Yeah, yeah. Jungle might be a little overwhelming for us. Like the more I
I
see
feel
him,
like
I'm not
jungle is
vibing with it
dope.
as much.
Yeah, it's dope, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be using that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
That's
let's
what
kick
I
it.
think.
Let's kick it out.
I think, and you know what I base that off of is Sarah Stargirl's all her drawings.
I mean,
Jungle was
I
really popular.
I got a 5-tier jungle, and I'll be building on
Yeah.
it, but so, like,
Well,
to our point is, like, let's look for something maybe that's not in either of our individual catalogs. Not
let me
because
see.
any other
Exactly.
reason than, like, it would be
Yeah.
nice to do something unique and
We might
different
be
for other
doing
space.
something ourselves with jungle, you know?
Right.
And jungle's number 2 in the growth category. So I think if we can get like top 2 would
Yeah,
be sick, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like either
mhm,
mycelium or botanical, either crystal or luster, either Veldin or sky. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Like, to me right now, I'm leaning
I
towards
think that's
mycelium or sky or crystal. Those are the 3 that just, like
mycelium, crystal, and sky. All right.
those are the ones that are hitting me right now.
Let's do that. So no acid, crystal, mycelium, botanical.
That's just we're not gonna get a tier 4 or 5 that I think is gonna be worth it.
Look at it. Look. I'm gonna keep botanical on
Okay,
because
alright, alright, alright,
I do fuck with the botanical.
okay. I mean, I
Um,
do think it's
look at
beautiful and
that.
it's rare.
It's also yeah,
It's one of
there's
my favorite in the entire system, so
with the trees and the moon and all that we were talking about like kind of Japanese inspired like that
yeah,
kind of reminds me
yeah.
of it
What
too,
about
you know?
bonsai tree?
Yeah, with that tree.
Mhm,
Very cool. All right. So this is looking good.
yeah.
Um
Adding
Veldin,
that
I'm gonna
point
take
0.5
Veldin off.
adds a lot of opportunity. Now, if we're being realistic, like, I'm not opposed to putting in a 0.25 myself and you do that, and maybe even less if we have to. But let's look towards the top and see if there's anything above that 2 ETH floor that's just like, "Wow,
Let me
we
do
need to."
price high to low.
Perfect.
All right.
So right
So
off the
at
bat, ooh,
yeah, 3 resources for this.
okay, let's
Uh,
look.
okay.
It would be
Click on
foolish
this.
not to at least window shop. And we are doing a 4 o'clock spaces to do a recap of other block, so we're going to continue with this. Hopefully we could purchase it, but because we're doing a series, it's not going to be the end of the world if we need to revisit this later, but we'll keep shopping.
Yeah, the whole concept of this is to just kind of help build out in the open and share our experience, and also incorporate and involve you,
Absolutely.
if you want to take part in this journey, at all. And even the comments that you guys have been adding, thank you so much. This
Yeah.
it's really helped shape us, our thinking. So this is great.
Ooh, okay. So this comment just came up. Botanical is sick, and look at the fair value of this,
Oh
Sean.
shit, 5.21.
This might be a tremendous
And you
opportunity
know why? It's because of this, dude.
because
It's
of how
it's at
rare
the
it is.
top of its category.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Now,
Okay.
that's kind of where when we're looking at these other deeds and we do it here, as you can see, I have the Rara Avis plugin. So I'd like to actually take a look at this. So if we do 2.5 ETH.
Dollars, I would love it. I would actually hate it, to be honest with you, because of everything
And
else.
what are we look okay, so we are looking at Biolume,
Mycelium,
Crystal, Sky, Mycelium, and that's it.
that's it, and
Botanical.
botanical.
No, no botanical.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wait, no Biolume.
Right, right, that's what it was. It is botanical, not biolume.
There we are. There
Cool.
we are. Okay.
Okay.
And
Now go
yeah,
hide
this is
hide
kind
alone.
of okay, we can do that. Oh,
Okay,
and
sick.
tier 4 to 5.
Right, 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 right.
Environment tiers 4 to 5. So environment tier.
So this is great input from Mario. Just to let you know, fair value is based on average sales price of that trade. It's just a little help.
Okay.
So it's not a guiding light, it's a reference point.
Yeah. That's really great insight. Okay,
Okay.
so right off the bat, we are doing high to low right now,
Hmm,
so
hmm.
2.5. But this is kind of what I like about the Rara Avis plugin is immediately I see sediment tier 2, resource count 3, and then look at the rank
Oh,
of that deed.
yeah.
So we got infinite expanse tier 4. This one is 50649, which is the same one here.
Okay. Okay.
So this
So
is the same one
do me a favor, go back to that list that we had of all the deeds we were looking at, and I want to look
on
at
the other
yeah,
side
yeah.
wiki.
And I want to look at that mycelium on the top row, the fourth one over.
Oh, this one right here?
Yes, please. Now this one, if I get dealer's choice, this is the one I'm choosing right now. Like,
Really?
no questions asked. I
Why?
think it's stunning. The mycelium world is going to be visually stunning, I believe. I also love the fact that it's based on this mushroom world, and we know how
Mhm.
much the founders love that mushroom experience. So what I imagine is this is going to have a very magical kind of component. I think it's whimsical. I think it's fun. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but like that's where my mind's at.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think it is a trip and I can't wait to see it. What I do have a hard time seeing is like a radio tower on here. But I could see a mushroom radio tower that almost looks like a satellite, one big ass stem that's going up.
Yeah, like how they
Um,
make those palm trees out of antennas.
oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're all over LA.
about?
Yeah, this is really cool. So mycelium, I'm a big fan of. I just don't know if it fits the other space station kind of vibe.
You're
But
maybe not wrong. You're maybe not wrong.
yeah. What I'm also noticing is the fair value is exactly what the floor is for this one. So this looks like it's priced
Right,
appropriately.
right where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and they're probably using other side wiki to list. So this is great. Yeah, Psycho Silk, obviously that's a very common. If you look, it's ranked 74 out of
Yeah,
74.
yeah, it's probably amongst the floor. So
Yeah.
so let's jump back then. Let's kick this one out.
And the other thing I don't like about this, like, just because I was referring to the aesthetic so much, is there's no lines around the deed.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, I feel like you gotta have some lines. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
if we're staying in the two ether price point, the best deed available for us is that 5 tier sky. Boom. That's the one, right? If we're playing the in our budget game
Yeah.
after talking out what we've spent the last hour or so talking about, that's the one that I think our community would have fun on, that we could envision. It's in our price point. There's nothing
Do you have a
above.
sky? Do you have a sky
I do
in
not
your
have a sky.
collection? I don't
No,
have
I
a
don't.
sky either.
Let's do it. That's the one, dude. Because all of no, but like hear me out as to why. The price point of all of them above 2 ether isn't such a wow factor that I feel compelled to touch that and buy it,
Mm,
right? The crystal is
yeah.
in that 2 ether budget, but it's a tier 4 versus a tier 5 and it has the same element. So for me, I'm thinking that 5 versus the 4 is worth it enough.
I'm also like I'm in love with the crystal as well. And so much to the point that I wouldn't mind us going with the sky for other space and then hunting for a crystal myself. You know
Well,
what I mean? Like,
and this is something very important to say out loud is this is not necessarily the only deed other Space M will ever own. This
yeah.
is just the first one, right? And so as we grow out our show, there's definitely opportunity for more deeds to end up on our journey with us. But
Oh
as the
yeah,
initial starting point, where do we want to start?
I like that.
Right? Because we're not saying we're only going to have one deed ever. We're never going to trade it. Da, da, da. We're saying this is the first deed for Other Space FM. This is going to be our Genesis home.
Mhm. All right. Well, this tier fives are looking real nice. I think this is the one right here, the 80196.
I'm happy with that one.
Yeah, thanks,
We're
Mario.
just we're just gonna leave this up the rest of the show because we agree.
Yeah, we're really trying to figure out like what are some good ways to kind of get onto this adventure of building something together and not have to constantly dump our own money into this. And one way we were thinking was like, oh, maybe there's like a way we can do a project, put out some NFTs. But we decided like we don't want to rush anything like that. If we're gonna do something, let's build something out. And when it gets to a place where it makes sense, then we'll be able to kind of launch some sort of project to get access to all of this, or not even access, like I want it available for everyone. But at the same time, there could be things like the boardroom that we were talking about, where this is our time. We're spending time with someone, giving feedback, advising, etc. There might be good value for that we can offer utility for some of the people who've supported us from the jump. You
Well,
know what I
and
mean?
and and if you think about, the Bored Ape Yacht Club and so many other great communities we're in, the whole part that people get most excited about is that communal aspect, right? It's access to people. So imagine if maybe Other Space FM had some kind of founders room or some sort of situation like that where there's more direct access for conversation, for help, for all these sorts of things that Sean and I have been putting, years of thought into. So this is something we've played with, but for what we're at right now, this is definitely the play is we've created this budget and we'll talk about, the rest of our journey on Thursday for the next Other Space FM, which we're really excited about. But I don't know, Sean, what do you think, man? Is there anything above that 2 ether floor that's like
Mm.
itching
Uh,
towards?
yeah, this botanical, like these botanicals are really really cool. But it does seem like it's almost underwater, but it's not.
Yeah,
I guess it's just the bubbles.
right.
Um, but if I'm gonna be completely honest with myself, I am definitely gravitating toward this sky out of these. I can see us building something with that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's something also fun for us is because it's like a deed that we don't have. It could be unique for us to have
Yeah,
that thought process of building on that particular.
yeah.
I'm good with that one 5-tier sky. That's the one I wouldn't I'd be thrilled to have that for other Space FM because this isn't for us. This is for the community to build experiences on.
Maybe get
Um,
some ideas, get some people who want to build some shit on there, and
yeah.
collectively see if we can. Because hopefully, just the fact that we have been in a position to where it's like, oh wow, doing this space every single week since the first trip has really cultivated and kickstarted the other side community coming together.
Oh,
That's at least
100%.
what I felt. And it's great to see all of these other like sub communities that we're all kind of collectively a part of. Hopefully whatever we build can continue to attract the traffic and the community that attends the spaces.
I agree.
And if there's ways, just like in the space, where we want to highlight creators, community builders, projects that would offer value to people, hopefully we could do some of the same things over here. You know what I mean? And
I do.
have representation of the different builders that are in here. And even if there's like monuments or pieces of art or something that represents the people who are building with us, I think that would be super sick. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
imagine if we could do art gallery pop-ups where one day we're just featuring Bailey, the next day we're featuring Ryda, the next day we're featuring XYZ, any other player, you,
And
myself, anybody, right? Like that would be fantastic. So
yeah, or field trips, like everyone kind of links up, meets over here. We have like a curated experience, and then
yeah,
we all go on this journey together
yeah.
to these other deeds uh based off of what someone else is doing, and we kind of take the community and take them around to experience different things on different deeds.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so
I think this is the best comment I've seen all day, and it's gonna pop up in just a second. The life-size Coda Von Hustle statue. That'll happen on one of my deeds, I promise. We'll figure that out.
yeah,
So so I
that's
think
definitely
I think we've narrowed it down, Sean, to 2 deeds currently. I think we're looking at, the 98619 Crystal deed, and we're looking at the 80196,
mm,
Sky deed, and
this
I think it
crystal is nice.
yeah, and it's also the only one in our price range, which all of a sudden I'm like, maybe that's the one.
3.42 value too.
What I mean,
I don't want to put like a Twitter poll up because someone will snipe
no,
it.
no, 100%. And then, like, this right here is a 4 tier. This has 3 fantastic resources, right? Not super rare, but there's
2.5 ETH though.
yeah, so quite a bit more. So let's knock that off the table. Let's stay true to our budget so we can kinda help guide people who are learning and let them know that you don't always have to go, exceeding your budget.
All right, all right, all
Let's do that.
right.
I know, it's hard, dude. Because trust me, like you said, if we were shopping for ourselves, we would find a way,
Yeah,
right? Alright,
yeah.
so audience out there, anyone who's hanging out, we're
Let's
we're
clean
between
this
those
up.
2 deeds. Those are our choices
What
for
are we
Other
doing?
Space FM. We're
Not
looking at
this one.
not that one. Please, F5, the crystal fair value is wrong. Okay, cool. So someone
Oh,
just said
okay.
that crystal they said, "Oh, press F5, the crystal
No,
fair
yeah,
value is wrong."
refresh, refresh.
Got it, got it, got it.
Yeah, I got. Hold on, let me see. Which one was it? We're not doing that.
Not that one, it's that one.
Okay. Okay.
2.4. Okay, okay, that makes quite a bit of a jump. Quite a bit of a jump. So the Sky Tier 5, let's look at that now. Let's refresh. Let's see if there's any adjustments. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
All right. So Mario saying Sky Tier 5.
I'm good with it. This is the one that you and I both like the most at the beginning of our conversation. We've spent the last hour plus hanging out with our community, and at the end of it, we're still, with the help of our community, being led towards this one. So
Look, on OpenSea, it's 1.9, and on Blur, it's 1.95.
let's grab it and save point
Let's
one for
see.
us.
Let me see. So on OpenSea,
Ooh, that looks
1.9.
nice, bro.
Yeah, look rank with the Rara Avis plugin. It says rank 2105. That's great. Sediment tier 1, you know, it has a very common resource, but it is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Okay, and then the community is asking to look at the crystal one again when you get a chance.
Oh, wait. On Blur, it does show 1.9 on here. It's only listed on
OpenSea.
OpenSea.
All right,
Oh, I
cool.
get it. It's listed as 1.9 on Blur too. So
Okay, cool. Okay, okay. I mean, that's
so
a
what?
beautiful
Should we
view.
buy it? Should we buy it?
I'm into it, but everyone's asking to look at the crystal one more time.
Okay.
One more time. Let's just
So,
peek because we got to jump to our spaces soon.
okay.
Let's look at that. The crystal is a 2-tier cosmic dream. It's a
We
4
looking
tier,
at a 4 tier, right?
the
4 tier.
1.99 that's listed on Blur.
This one, the
Yep. Yep.
98619.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Now,
This.
let's get Sky. Fuck, that one's nice,
You
bro.
said let's get Sky. Wait, why? What made you say no? No,
Just the 5 tier is like
a
so
five
much.
tier,
Yeah,
epic.
it's just so much better visually.
I agree, man. The
All
only
right, let's
thing
do it.
about this 5 tier is the
Hmm.
center. Oh, it does have a rainbow atmosphere. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm liking this
Do it.
combo.
Buy it.
And it
That's the
has the
one.
lines. You got the lines around it.
Let's
It's not like
go.
super deep.
You know what? Nash says, Crystal, we're getting the input from the community, guys.
That's the tipping point.
We're doing it. Let's do this one. Welcome home, everybody.
All right, let's
All right, let's go.
let's run it. All
Let's
right,
go,
hold on. No one snipe us, please.
please. And if someone snipes us, we'll accept donations. Oh man, this has been fun. Thank you everyone for hanging out and
Yeah.
experiencing this with us. I think the most important part for us is knowing that we plan on building out in the open, and anything that ends up in the other space wallet is going to be intended for communal use and to grow as much as we can other space FM, right? Like Sean and I have talked about this for quite a long time, is that we don't look at this as a 1-year experience. We're looking at this as hopefully a decade-long experience where we could both create our own economies and our whole livelihoods based around other space FM. That would be
We're
fantastic.
trying to figure out. We're going to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, it's
Some
gonna happen.
regular old Joe Schmoes trying to figure it out.
Well, and you think about it, like we're of the lucky category that we started early in this NFT game, and now
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
woo! All right,
Yo, we
guys,
did it, guys.
let's go. We are so fucking excited. We hope you guys love
Let
this
me
one.
refresh.
This is
Oh
for the
yeah.
other space home community to be built upon. This is our Genesis deed. This is going to be the beginning of a fun journey with you all. And thank you for being part of this first step in selecting the right deed for Otherside.
Yeah, 80196. You know
Oh yeah.
what? This is a cool deed. I never even thought we would do Sky, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Never
You
in a
know,
million years.
I didn't think we were going to do Sky. So
Coda is so excited because I'm cheering that she's literally jumping up trying to bite me right now on the back. So she's into it as well.
well,
Oh
fuck yeah,
guys, this
dude.
is amazing. I'm so
Yeah,
proud of
I
us.
wanna just say thank you to everyone who's tuning in. And some of the people that have been leaving comments. E pluribus, thank you. Mario, Frosties, thank you so much. Your input was super valuable. All Ape, I'm loving the threads that Alt Ape has been putting out, especially as it relates to heavy metals and the environment categories, helping articulate that. That's definitely something we're like speculating on and talking about. We got Mr. Hype that's been giving us a lot of really great feedback and input. Really appreciate you jumping on, as well as for coming into Other Space FM. The Damn Show, shout out to the Damn Show. Really
Yeah,
appreciate y'all. Always so supportive, giving us an opportunity to just cross communities. You know what I mean? With 10KTF and Other Side, and we see it's all happening, especially after Figgy was just kind of already blatantly saying that. You know, a lot of this stuff
bro.
is absolutely crossing over.
I can't wait.
Nash, bringing Nash the goat, dude.
Nash, we're
Nash and
gonna have to do
Peanuts.
another one where we put our deed featured on his episode because this is the deed of Other
We gotta
Space
have
FM.
Nash co-host Other Space
Yeah,
now.
that's the
You know
play.
what I
That's the
mean?
play. Yeah, absolutely. Nash,
So
that offer is now extended to you, and we'll figure out details.
yeah, let's get Nash to co-host Other Space. I'd happily jump down to the audience, and you can take my spot.
I think
Um,
um, I think this has been one of the more fun live streams we've done in a long time, guys. And this is something very important for Sean and I as we want to introduce more video because there will be streaming opportunities as the second trip comes out. There's going to be a lot more opportunities for us to build upon this land with you guys now, and we want to show it visually as this is definitely a visual experience.
yeah, and I do want to say, special shout out to Vora.
Yeah, yeah,
They have been a project that's been building in the space. Nova, who's one of the co-founders of Vora, has been a part of the other space community and just an outstanding community member who has really helped us facilitate our next show for Other Space FM as our first sponsored Twitter space. And this is something that we were able to figure out, like, how can we purchase this deed? And Vora is a big part of this journey
absolutely.
in helping us do this. And this is just the beginning. We can't wait to continue to figure out, like, how can we align all of our goals with each other as
Yeah,
community members, as builders, as projects, and find things that would truly add value to the rest of the people that are building in this space. So,
yeah,
shout out Vora, thank you for the upcoming sponsored Twitter space, who's also going to be on Nash's and Peanuts NFT show.
yeah,
So that's going to be sick too. But without assistance and help, we wouldn't have been able to do it without the community.
yeah.
So thank you all for showing up, and we look forward to finding ways we can help each other out.
Yeah, it means the world to us, and I think this is the most important thing that Sean and I say often is this is a community based show. Everything we do here is for the community, and the community showed us love in that by reciprocating that, and everyone that we love because you guys have spent time with us since day one or joined us and just maybe it was yesterday you joined us, but you have a dedication for being part of this community. We're going to look to support you as much as you support us, if not, more because we just love seeing our friends succeed. And so, like Sean said, thank you, Vora, for helping us with this opportunity. It was our very first sponsored situation, and we only asked for something to help build our community even further with as a thought process. So I think that's great for today, man. And I thank everyone for hanging out with us as
Oh yeah,
we just made some magic happen today, guys.
dude, I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, me too.
Glad we
This is
did
beautiful.
this. Thank you, Jason, for taking some time out to start to imagine and
Yeah,
shop for this. And we've been talking about it for a long time, and it's taken a lot of work to kind of get things into a place to where we would be able to do something like this in a way where we can feel really good, uh, sleeping at night. So
100%, 100%, or
I
1000%.
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. Like I hope that whatever we do as we share our journey, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to learn lessons along the way. And we just hope that, some by us sharing it, that you'll be able to take away some things as well. If it inspires you, great. That is honestly one of my personal goals, is to help really inspire just by us putting our necks out there and doing it. Maybe it can showcase like a path for someone else.
100%.
And at the same time, I'm humble enough to know we're not going to do everything right, but we're going to try our best, and we're open to any feedback. So please, let us know what's working for you. What is it? How can we take this to the next level? And how could we potentially help you out on your journey as well? Because
Yeah,
that's what it's all
absolutely.
about.
Absolutely. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to this particular channel, please do so and tell your friends, because we're going to really try our best to not only do spaces, but make sure that we're touching different platforms, because we want to make sure as many people as we can find that want to talk about this topic have a safe, fun, comfortable community to participate in. So
Dude,
thank you
wait
guys.
till fucking the other side, dude. Wait till the fucking second trip and all the other trips that we're gonna be having after that. I
It's going to
think
be
we're
rad.
gonna be able to see so many cool environments. Now I can't wait to see, like, what is Sky gonna look like when we have like some sort of experience over there, and what are they
Bro,
gonna build out? I'm
so
definitely gonna be
exciting.
taking some inspiration from that.
I'm so pumped right now, guys. Let's wrap it up before I just like keep telling you how
All
excited
right,
I am,
y'all.
because we're
Yo,
gonna we're gonna be back shortly on Twitter world.
yeah, we'll ride out to this really cool song. We got our first other need. Thank you for building the other space station with us. We selected the right other side other deed. We're having fun. Yo, Jason, congratulations, man.
Yeah, you too, man. This is fun. I love doing this with you, man. Two best friends building in the metaverse. I'm truly blessed to be on this journey with you, man. And everyone else, thank you for hanging out.
Hell yeah. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on Thursday at Other Space FM. Peace.